Hello, today we are going to have a quick video on determining if ratios are equivalent and then also on finding equivalent ratios. The first problem says determine if the ratios are equivalent. We have 15 and 25 and then 25 and 45. So we want to know if these ratios are equivalent. And it's hard because there's not a multiple, not a whole number multiple that would multiply 15 by 15 and get you to 25. Remember, we could also write these ratios as in fraction form if we wanted to. That would be 15 to 25, and this would be 25 to 45. So we don't have the multiple, we don't have a whole number multiple at least that would multiply by 15 and get you to 25. We'll tell you that you don't need a whole number multiple, but multiplying by fractions and decimals is a 6th grade standard that we haven't taught yet. So for right now, you're really only looking to see if you can find a whole number multiple. But one thing that you want to look at is to see if either of your ratios can be simplified. If they can be simplified, then you want to start there because it will always be easier to simplify your ratios. It's easier to deal with simplified ratios. So looking at our first ratio, 15 to 25, I see that both the 15 and the 25 has 5 as a divisor. So I can divide both numbers, or all numbers in my ratio, by 5, and I get the ratio 3 to 5. I also see that 25 and 45 have a common divisor also of 5. So I can divide both of those numbers by 5. And I get 5 to 9. These ratios are not equivalent. 3 to 5 is not equal to 5 to 9. Since neither of these ratios can be simplified any further, they're both in completely simplified form, I can go ahead and say that they are not equal. You use the equal sign with the line across it to show not equal. Here's another problem. This says find the missing term in each pair of equivalent ratios. The first ratio I'm given, 98 to 112, and it's saying that's equivalent to 63 to what number? Well, again, if I'm looking for a whole number multiple or divisor, there's not a whole number multiple or divisor that's going to get me from 98 to 63. There's not a number I can divide 98 by a whole number that's going to get me to 63. So I'm going to see if I can simplify my first ratio, this 98 to 112. One thing, I know they're both even, so I know they're both going to be divisible by 2. I'm going to start there. Even though I'm hoping I might get a larger divisor, I'm going to start with my even number. So 98 divided by 2 is 49, and 112 divided by 2 is 56. So now I have 49 to 56. Well, that's still not going to help me much. There's not a whole number multiple of 49 that's going to get me to 63. But now, again, looking at my numbers, I see that both 49 and 56 are divisible by 7. So I have another divisor that I can use, and I get 7 to 8. Now I'm still looking for a number that will get me to 63 to something. But now looking at my equivalent ratio, so I simplified the 98 to 112 to get me 7 to 8, and now there is a whole number multiple that will get me from 7 to 63. I'm just going to multiply that one by 9, right? 7 times 9 gets you 63. If you multiply one number in your ratio by 9, you have to multiply all of your numbers in your ratio by 9. And so 8 times, that's 72. So the equivalent ratio of 98 to 112 is 63 to 72. Remember, it is generally always going to be easier if you can simplify your ratio first. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped. If you have any questions, just bring them to class.